All right, let's start by determining the language. Who does not speak German here? Raise your hand. Okay, a few. I will do it in English then. I do have a presentation in German though, so it'll be a little bit mix and match. First of all, this talk is very different to all the talks that have been before, so I want to make sure everybody is right here. This talk is not about language learning. Is anybody wrong here? This is about marketing. Everybody in the right place. All right, that's great. So I will be talking about SEO today, about search engine optimization, about how to get a website to the top, to the first page of Google, and I will focus mostly on language-related businesses, on language schools, and other translation agencies and other institutions that have to do something with languages. And why am I doing this? That's because I run the online marketing agency Netzbekannt, which is based in Berlin, but I focus on SEO because that's my specialty. And first of all, I'm going to talk about what is SEO and why should you do it. So if you see the picture, you see how many people are looking for specific keywords in German. That means that language learners are typing in that they want to learn German or that they want to learn English or that they have problems with words and they're looking for a solution. So the idea is if they're looking for a solution, then you have to be where they're looking for it. So that would be Google because that's where people search. Or you create an event like Expolingua where you just collect all of them. So those are two different ways to get clients, to get pupils, to get students, and to get people to book language products. And with SEO, you can catch the people where they're looking for a solution, where they're ready to spend money. And so first of all, let's have a look at the results page of Google. It doesn't always look the same, but this is a typical local results page, which means that if somebody's typing in Englischkurs Berlin, which means that they're looking for an English course in Berlin, then you see at the top the Google ads, which are paid ads. So you pay. So the two businesses that are shown up front are paying for every click. And then you see the Google local pack. This is only for local search terms. So Google knows that somebody who puts in English course Berlin is looking for a local solution. They don't want to have a course in Munich or in Australia, even though it might be the best course in the world. They're looking for a course in Berlin. And so Google shows what it thinks are the best results in Berlin for language schools that teach English, and usually Google shows 3 in this Google local pack, and if you open it up, then you see more results. And the last one is the normal organic search, so that's where Google determines what's the best fit, not locally, but in general. But those are heavily influenced by local results because basically I put in Berlin, so I don't care about anything else. And I'm going to talk about the middle and the right part today, which is how to create a website or how to influence Google in a way so that it wants to show you in the first results and not a competitor. So first of all, what is SEO? What is search engine optimization? And search engine optimization is playing with Google. Google has a purpose, and the purpose is to show the best results that for somebody that is looking for a specific term, may it be a language course or something else. And so what you need to do is to create a website or a web result where Google thinks, okay, this is the good stuff, and I'm going to show that to the people that are looking for it. And Google ranks what it thinks is the best result, that's first place. What it thinks is the second best result, that's second place. And I brought you an example, which is Deutsch lernen, which is learn German. And the first two results, the first result is a website that is offering a free German course. And Google thinks, or Google has data that shows that that's what people are looking for in the first stage. If they put in learn German, then a free German course is a good result for them. And it's supported by data because Google knows how many people clicked and how many people stayed on the page. And if they are on the first page, it means that the people that were looking for it, they really found the right result. And the second one is the Deutsche Welle, which also has really good results for German learners. So basically, if you want to be on the first place or in the second place, you have to be better than those results, which is really hard for this keyword. But you don't need to go for the really difficult keywords. You can go for keywords where the competitors are not as strong, and then you're able to be on the first page or in the first result and still get a little bit of visitors and clients. And people are always asking, people call me and they say, I want to do SEO. How much does it cost? That's the question. I don't have any information at all, but they want to know how much SEO costs. Now, obviously, I can't answer this question, but it's pretty easy to know how difficult it will be by thinking about how hard is it to beat competitors, or how good are the competitors and how good am I? And the bigger the distance between those two, the more difficult it is. So for some search queries, for instance, as in German, learn German, the competition is really hard. So you have to be really good to beat those. And for other keywords, it's not as hard, so it's going to be less work, and obviously less money needs to be spent. And what's also important is that this is only important for, it doesn't matter who your competitors are, it only matters who your competitors in the search results are. So for Learn German, you have those two competitors, but for Learn German online, the competitors could be somebody completely different. So it only depends on the search term that you're trying to rank for. SEO is not that difficult. It's actually quite simple. It's a three-step process, and it comprises finding the right keywords. So if you're a little language school that only teaches German in Berlin, then you wouldn't try to rank for Learn German because your competitors are way too hard. So you need to find keywords that people are looking for, but where your competition isn't too hard. Maybe you have a special concept, or you can offer something other sites can't offer, and so you have to choose the keywords where you have a chance to rank. Or if your website is already established and you've had it for a long time, then you can compete for more difficult search terms. So for instance, we just started, we launched the Spanish course at the beginning of this year, and we started with all the keywords around learning Spanish, like Spanish vocabulary, Spanish grammar, and all the keywords which are quite difficult but are not as difficult as Learn Spanish yet, because first we need to build a base. And now, just this week, we created something for Learn Spanish, which is the most difficult keyword for this topic. And because we already built a base, we have a good website that has good authority. Now we have the chances to really rank for that site. So we know we can beat the competitors. The second step is to create content, or create the best content possible, because in the end, why should Google rank you better than your competitors if your content is not better than that of your competitors? So the second step is, when you know which keywords you want to rank for, you want to create the right content for that. And the third one is authority. Google wants to make sure that it only ranks good websites, not some student project that came about a week ago and that may be off the internet in 2 weeks, but brands or companies that have been in the business for a long time, that have authority, which means people talk about them, people look for them. So the third step is to build authority for your brand and for your website. And if you look closely at step 2 and 3, you see that this isn't really search engine optimization. You're not optimizing a website for the search engines, but you're doing marketing, because good content shows that you know what you're talking about. It shows that you care about your visitors, about your clients, and you want to give them the best content possible before they even have to book something. They're not buying a black box, but they know who you are, what you do, what you know. So this is marketing. And the third one is marketing as well. It's building a brand. It's getting people to look for you. It's getting people to speak about you. It's getting people to share your content. So basically those two, it's just good marketing practices. And at the same time, you're doing SEO. So it's not as it was back in the days where you were like writing learn German like 1,000 times on the website and like buy 1,000 backlinks. But this is SEO as it is now is just marketing, and you have SEO in the same area. So the first one is which keywords, and here is an example. If you look for this is a tool that shows you similar keywords. There's lots of tools that show you similar keywords, and if you put in a root keyword like learn German or language school in Berlin, then you find alternatives. So you find different keywords, how often people are looking for these keywords, and whether they fit your brand, your company, and you can see how competitive it is. So for instance, we use the tool SEMrush, but there's lots of tools out there that can show you which keywords are people actually looking for, because you want to create content for keywords that people are looking for, and you don't want to start with keywords like learn German or language course Berlin, because obviously those are the most with the most competition. I'll come to questions at the end if that's okay. The second one is the best content, and I already spoke about this. So this is an example, learn vocabulary, which I think currently, this is a little bit older, the screenshot, but I think we still rank on first place or second place for this keyword. And you have to look at the results, and you have to think, what are they doing well? Why are people clicking? And why are they staying? And then you have to think how you can be better than the results. And the third one is authority. So get other people to vouch for you by sharing your stuff, by linking to you, even mentioning. If people mention your brand name somewhere on the web, Google knows about it. Google knows about everything. And so if you get people to talk about you, to look for you, to share your stuff, you are building authority. And also, an interesting point is Google prefers brands. And if you have a brand that, like, if you use your brand as in the URL, so for instance, for us it's Sprache.de, then, and people are looking for this brand, and there's more and more, and I see that, I think now there's about 300 people every month that are looking for Sprache, and it's getting more and more by the month, then it shows that my brand is being built, because more and more people are looking for my business. So you have to make sure that you're doing brand building. And I brought you a few SEO tips, and I'll start with the easy ones, and there is a little bit of a mix here. So basically there's SEO and there's local SEO. So local SEO is if you're only operating in a specific location, which is a language school, or normal SEO is SEO in general, like learn German is a keyword for general SEO, and learn German in Berlin is a local SEO keyword. And there's a few tips that are more specific for local businesses, and other tips that are more general. So this one is talk about your company, and probably many people think that that's obvious, that you should do that, but we get quite a lot of people, clients or people that talk to us that don't do that. They don't present their company. You come to the website and you don't even know who the people are behind that. And if you want to book a language school, you want to know who your teacher is. So you want to see their pictures, you want to have videos to see what kind of, how everything is structured. And you can even use case studies where you say, okay, so these students, they did this and this, and at the beginning they were here, and at the end they were here, which is really great, because if you want to book a language course and you see where somebody was at the beginning and at the end, then you can relate much more to what this business has to offer. The second one, and this one is especially important for local businesses, is how can people contact you? Where can people find you? So in the end, your website is a marketing tool. It has a specific goal, which is for most businesses to get people to contact you, to get people to find out about you, and then book your services. And you should always keep that in mind. So whenever you create content or whatever you do on your website, you have to keep in mind that whatever you're doing this so that people want to get in touch with you or that people call you. So that's why you should have a phone number everywhere if you want people to call you, or an email address if you want people to write to you, or a contact form if you want people to write to you. And the most important ones are the name, the address, and the phone, and it should be people should always shouldn't look for too long until they find these things on your website. The third one, and we already talked a little bit about that, is great content. And first of all, it's content, it's how-to content. So it's not sales content, which is why you should book our course or why you should travel with us, but it's content on problems that people have. How do I learn words? Or what are the best tools? Or which country is the best if I want to learn a specific language? And so this is the helpful content that Google also likes to rank, and this is also the content that people are looking for. And if they find your content and they think and they like what you're talking about, it's much more likely that they will book you. And a second part of content is everybody gets lots of questions from potential clients. And if you think about the questions, you realize that many of those are the same over and over again. And so the solution would be to answer those questions in the form of a video or in the form of an article, so that people don't have to get in touch with you to ask those basic questions, but that they can get an answer for that. And when they contact you, that they can talk about the real important stuff with you. And multimedia is really, people like that. Pictures, videos are really great. People can see who you are, what you do. So I can't tell you how important, how good it is to make videos, because still not many companies do that. And if they do that, then it's not a very good video. But if you have a language school and you create a video about this, how the experience is, and then it's so much more likely that people will decide to come to you rather than another website that just has a little bit of text. And so the idea would be that if people come to your website, that they are getting answers to all their questions. The fourth one, and this one is especially important for local businesses and is especially powerful for local businesses, that's Google My Business. Google gives you the opportunity to present yourself in a business profile where you talk about, where you can show your address, how people can find you, when you're open, your phone number, pictures, and Google likes Google. So if you do something with Google products, then they will obviously prefer that over if you do it with some other company. And I'm not sure, are you familiar with Google+? Have you heard of that? It's, they have been active for, I don't know, 10 years. I think by the end of the year it's over. And nobody was using Google+. But for some reason, a Google+ share was more important than a Facebook share. Even though it's obvious that Facebook shares are much more important because there are many more users on Facebook, but they like their product so much that even if they are not very good, like Google+, you still have to work with them. But Google My Business is a really good tool. And there's a Google My Business for local searches. I think the last graphic was that it's including Google testimonials. I think it was like 1/3 of SEO. So if you have a local business and you want to get into the Google pack, if you have a good Google, if you're good on Google My Business and you have good testimonials on Google, you already did 1/3 of your SEO, which is extremely easy, but still most people don't do that. And also make sure to get people people to give you testimonials on Google, because obviously it gives the chance for Google to see how good you are as a business. Because if people are giving you 5 stars all the time, it means that you're a good business, people like working with you. And it's also when people are looking for your company, and they see that you have a lot of 5 stars, then they will be more likely to work with you. And then, if possible, to do a testimonial on Google, you always have to have a Google account. Not everybody has that, so you can go for a second platform where you can give testimonials. In Germany, especially popular are Proven Expert and ausgezeichnet.org. It depends on the country, and it depends on the service you offer. There's different platforms, but there's if you have a lot of clients and they want to give you testimonials, but they don't have a Google account, then make sure you have a second account where they can give you a testimonial without the need to register on Google. This one is also especially important for local businesses. It's citations. There's lots of websites that show different businesses in different fields, and those are the most popular ones in Germany in general. And for every country, there are different ways to get citations. It's business catalogs that just list all the businesses that are available. And what's important here is to get a citation in the most important portals, and those can be different depending on which business you're in and which country you operate in. But to find out which ones are the important, you can just do a Google search for the keyword that you're interested in, and any portal that is on the first 3 pages of Google is an important one, because obviously they got to a good result, so it's important to be listed there as well. And the 7th one is part of the authority. It's getting backlinks. It's getting other websites to talk about you. It's you can get partners to give you a link, or you can get clients to give you a link. And the more authority another website has, the more authority you're getting transferred from the other website. And the closer it is to your business, the better it is also. So if you're a German school in Berlin and you get a link from the biggest and best German school in Berlin, that's the best link you can get. It's better than a link from IKEA, it's better than a link from Volkswagen, because that's the most relevant and the best link that you can get for your topic. So it's important to get good links and to get links from other websites that are relevant to whatever you have to offer. So if you get lots of links from companies that have nothing to do with your business, then Google will think, okay, something is going on, because why would all these car companies link to a language school? So make sure you have links from other websites that are somewhere in the field that you are in. Get local press to talk about you. You can do that by doing events or by doing some crazy PR stunt. Whatever the press likes to talk about. Go to expert organizations. Do guest blogging, maybe in another blog that is in your area, or a magazine that talks about your fields. And you can also participate in online forums where people are asking questions. Quora is a really popular one. People are asking questions there about language learning, about any topic all the time. And if you answer those questions, this will give you mentions, and this will get people talking about you, and this will give you links. And now we get to the more difficult SEO tips. And let's look where I'm on time. Okay, I probably won't go through all of these. When you start building links, obviously most people know a few where they can start. which is all the websites and companies they know which are on the same field, but at some point you may not be sure where to continue, or maybe you don't even know where to start with your partners and so on. And a good way to start is to look at your best competitors. So your best competitors, they are your best competitors for a reason, and one of those reasons is they have good backlinks in general. So you look at what kind of backlinks your competitors have, and you try to score the same ones. And a very good tool for that, and a free tool, is openlinkprofiler.org, where you can put in any website and find out which kinds of backlinks they have. There's lots of other tools, but this one is a really cool one because it's really simple and it's for free. And then you go through these links and you think, how did they land this link? Maybe they did a guest blog entry, or maybe they contacted that company. Maybe that company is linking out to many other websites. So you just think about, how did they land this link? And then you think about whether you can land the same link in some kind of way. The next one is, if you're a local business, definitely implement a Google map on your website. It's a very important signal for Google, and it shows that you're a local business. You want to be found here in this area, and you don't want to be found in another area. So if you decide that you want to be found in Berlin or Frankfurt, and you say you only want to be found here, then you will be found worse in other areas of Germany, but you will be found much better in the area where you operate, which is obviously what especially local businesses want to do. A very important one is snippets. So whenever you look for something on Google, you see a title and then you see a description. And they may not be directly relevant for SEO, because even if you mention the keyword or you don't mention it, it doesn't really matter for SEO. But what matters for SEO is how many people click on your website. And if you have a good snippet, if you have a good meta description and meta title, and people are clicking and they like what they find, then your rankings will improve. And rankings on Google are very fluid. So if you're on the 10th place and more people are clicking on number 10 than on number 9 and 8, then you will go automatically to number 8, as long as people click and stay. So if they click and they leave right away, and Google knows, again, Google knows everything. Google knows what people do with your website, even if you don't have analytics, even if you don't have any Google tools, because people are using Android, people are using Chrome. So Google knows how people interact with websites. And so it's very important to write a snippet which presents whatever you're offering in a very attractive way, and that you're actually delivering. Because if people click and they leave, then that's bad for SEO. If they click more than they click your competitors that are above you, you will rise to the top. Internal linking. Many companies don't do that, even though it's quite easy and very powerful. So links from other websites are really good, but links from your own website are good as well. Because Google is not ranking you as much of a whole website, but they are giving authority to different subpages. So your front page, your home page, obviously is the most important one. So any subpages that get a link from your home page or from your front page are getting the most power. And then the more secluded a subpage is, the less important a link from that is. So try to link between subpages that are relevant to each other. And so don't link from the German course to the English course, but link from the German course to a German online course. So make sure that the links are relevant. And the cool thing is, every page that you have, every subpage that you have, has some kind of SEO juice. So it's how powerful the subpage is. And if you link to another subpage, you're giving part of that SEO juice to the other page, but the original page is not losing it. So if you do good internal linking, you're creating more SEO juice for your whole website. And don't forget, the higher in the hierarchy a website subpage is, so like I said, the homepage is at the very top, the more powerful those links are. So make sure on your homepage you link to your most relevant subpages and the ones that you want to get ranked the best. I think I'm running out of time here, so I'm going to skip all of that, and if you want I can send you the slides. And I want to finish with a seminar that we have in January where we talk about online marketing for language businesses, for language schools and translation firms, and in general anybody that has a language business. And I have some flyers here that represent what you see up there. So that's where we talk about online marketing, but online marketing for this niche. So it's very specific. It's where we have our expertise that we collected with the companies that we work with that are in the language business, and where we talk about Sprache, and where we talk about the marketing that we did for Expolingua. So how it's more general. Part of it is SEO as well, but it's more general on how do you get your website, your language business more visible on the web. So these are my contact details, and let me know, write me an email if you want those slides. I'll send them to you. All right, well, thanks very much for coming and participating.